I'm sorry, my feet are up. I didn't mean it. I do mean it. This is my home.
I'll pull out my dog. Like,
I guess, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, as equal, I've hoed everybody, especially Will. I've recorded a number of things with Will, but Will has never seen the light of day. But
sorry, I'm a sailor mouth individual.
No, that's fine. That's as are my other friends, Kevin and Adam. They swear up and down,
but a lot less than me because they've been featured.
That's true.
It's every sentence. It's every sentence with me, which is why I was not pressed about when you said, "Hey, man, I know we recorded like a whole hour and a half, but you're not in it." And I was like, "It makes sense." Well, then, hi. I'm Will.
He's a cool guy.
I've been a part of the discussions for a while. Most of the tangents that you see are caused by me, but I have not been featured.
Unfortunately, there is some truth to that. Not all, but there is some. Will and I went to go see Captain America: Brave New World. You'd actually already seen it. I had not seen it, and I kept saying, "I'm gonna go see it," but I hadn't seen it. So
I was waiting on you, and then
because I'm a
and then I didn't hear anything from you, and I was like, me and a couple of friends want to go see it, and now I got to see it 2 more times after this second time of watching it, because I got to take a buddy of mine who slept through it.
That's hands.
And then
through it.
Well, not the entirety. He fell asleep in the middle portion of it, but he woke up around the. I won't specify it at this point yet, but one of those climactic points. More specifically, the press conference.
The press conference. Got it.
He woke up around there, so he caught the end of the movie, but I have to take him back to see get the rest of the movie.
There's a lot of important stuff in between there.
Oh, well, a whole lot. There's a lot of world building in that one movie.
I'm not sugarcoating. There's going to be spoilers. I don't love dancing around spoilers.
Neither do I.
If you wanted to go see the movie, you should have gone see the movie. It's really good.
It's, what, 2.5 weeks old now?
Oh, yeah. It is now old. But old for movies, I guess. Out.
Exactly. Like, within the month, it will probably be out of theater.
That's sad. This is a really good movie.
Facts.
But I guess it was a Black History Month. It wasn't a Black History Month movie, but they're like, oh, hey, black man, wham, February. Makes sense. That's marketing right
Black
there.
man with hardship. Wham! Black man trying to help him. Wham!
Wham, indeed. We went to go see the movie. I really enjoyed it. I guess I've enjoyed each of the Captain America movies, but I was really excited for Sam to have his own movie because we've been seeing...
I've been waiting for this Captain America movie since 2016. When Civil War came out.
Okay.
Like when they were doing all the Pizza Hut things and whatnot, like choose your side, blah blah blah. I've been waiting since Civil War to watch a new Captain America movie because they didn't come out with any for the past almost decade. It's been 9 years.
That's crazy.
Sam Wilson as an individual, he was introduced in Winter Soldier, and then he was brought back. Or not brought back, but he was a part of Infinity War-ish, but then half the world gone.
What can you do?
And he was one of those individuals. After Endgame happens, there's that iconic scene towards the climax of the movie. He sits there, and he's like, hey, Cap, on your left. Comes through the Doctor Strange portal of fucking sparkles.
It's the ultimate troll.
Swear to God, he was like, I've waited years to get him back for this. But he comes back. Everybody comes back. That was gone. Big fight. Blah blah blah. Tony, they're gone.
You're done.
Exactly. But then Falcon and the Winter Soldier happened because at the not at the end, but towards the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
You remember old Steve shows up. He pulls up and he gives the shield to Sam.
Yep.
Like him and Bucky talked about it, he gives the shield to Sam. And this is where we start Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because Sam has the shield, he was given the shield, but he doesn't feel he deserves the shield, so he gives it up to have it put in the museum with the rest of the Steve Rogers memorabilia, like where his uniform and everything was when he in Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Like it's supposed to be put in that exhibit of that museum, and it was for a time. But then the U.S. government was like, oh, it's ours now. we're going to give it to John Walker, who later becomes the U.S. agent. But,
the definitely stable man.
So, Sam and Bucky link up, blah, blah, blah. They go through hardships. They kind of create a bond. They fight John Walker, get the shield back. And then we get what you were telling me earlier from, like, when we were leaving the movie. We get the little training arc, like, oh, he's getting improved with the shield. He actually kind of knows what he's doing. And then in this movie, he's a total pro.
He's trick-shotting with that thing.
I can tell you right now, I made this count when I first watched it. 3 times, this man kicks his shield.
Iconic. That's really cool.
Captain America, Steve Rogers, only threw, maybe punched, maybe had it hit a couple of other guys, ricochets. He was never kicking it like that. Like, this man was doing full side flips to kick his shield.
And it got where it needed to be every time. The fights throughout the movie were really cool. It was fun to see the blend of Falcon and Captain America in his fighting style, which allowed all the kicks. And, hey, young man.
My point exactly. Like, one of my favorite things was the pure fact that this aerial fighter, like, he literally fights in the air, this, that, and the third, took ground fighting and mixed it with his style. Like, he's so much more acrobatic with it.
Yep.
Which, granted, he also needs to be. He has no powers. He has no super soldier serum, nothing. He's a normal dude with a super suit. He's Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark, Captain America.
You see Bucky in the movie, and he's like, "You don't need the super serum. Like, you're doing all the stuff without it." And then towards the end, he has to fight Red Hulk, and he's like, "That's a load of shit. Like, what is it?
I should have taken that serum.
Yeah,
Bucky's full of shit.
That would have. He walked out with a broken arm. Like, he was. I love the fact that he does not have the super serum. Like, it would be cool. Like, that's fine. But I really like that he has to fight strategically. He has to fight knowing that he has to walk out of this afterwards. Steve Rogers threw himself at everything. I've watched a bunch of videos. It's really funny. Every time things got tough for Captain America, Steve Rogers, he put them in like a chokehold. And it was like, Ultron, chokehold. It was Thanos, chokehold. I was like, alright.
What am I supposed to do? Ha!
Got him! He doesn't have any lungs. He's a robot.
He's made of vibranium. What are you doing?
Speaking of vibranium, we get introduced that the Celestial. I guess I'm not an Eternals hater. I'm not even an Eternals defender. It's a fine movie. It's okay. Like, it's cool. But I think the coolest thing that comes out of it is a Celestial was being born out of the Earth. It was basically like an egg. Yeah, but they stopped it. And we haven't heard about it since, like, No Way Home happened. Freaking another Doctor Strange movie happened. Quantumania happened. We were introduced and lost a main MCU villain during the time we haven't seen the Celestial. So I'm like, well, it's over there. So I was really happy to see it. But they mentioned vibranium, and I'm like, not vibranium.
Adamantium.
Yes, adamantium. I'm like, Wolverine? We just got a Deadpool Wolverine movie. So how soon are we to that? I want to see. I wonder if he's going to be our Wolverine, or if we're going to get a Wolverine. He's just going to be around.
Like I was telling you while we were watching the movie, Universe 100, 166,
whatever it is, yeah.
Whatever movie or whatever universe they were in for Deadpool and Wolverine, I believe there's going to be some kind of incursion that happens, but because of Loki being the god of stories now, and allowing the multiverse, like instead of the sacred timeline and the temporal loom, which he who remains put in place, it's Loki. Loki is allowing the multiverse to grow and expand and whatnot because he's sitting at the center of it.
Yeah.
And I believe that John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic was telling us in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was true. But that's when the temporal loom was the highest power, and there was no room for anything other than the sacred timeline. But now that there is a multiverse that is allowed to exist, I'm pretty sure that incursions don't mean the death. They do, but don't mean the death of those universes. Like, those individual universes die, yes, but they become one mixed universe. It's like what astrophysicists theorize is going to happen between the Milky Way and Andromeda. The Milky Way and our sister galaxy Andromeda are one day, based off of how our galaxies are moving, they're going to collide, and they're going to become one galaxy. Which scientists went to taking ship names, like shipping characters. They took ship names. It's called the galaxy that is supposed to form once our two galaxies collide is called Milkdromeda.
Milkdromeda is kind of hard. My brain went Milky Dromeda. Milkdromeda is much better than Milky Dromeda. And that would mean that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness wasn't just a throwaway, because not that it was a throwaway, but it being Multiverse of Madness, they go to like 2 universes, and I'm like...
Maybe.
Like they fall through a bunch of them, but then...
Like our main characters go to 2 universes. Like there was definitely a whole lot more shown, but it was background. It was like it was a little filler scene. Like, oh, here's one universe that they could have been in, but here's where they actually are.
I'm really interested in the fusion of universes, because there's a really prominent Secret Wars, which is coming out. There's a really prominent story, Secret Wars, where Emperor Doom, Doctor Doom becomes like God King Doom, and he has Battle World. The Battle World is just a jigsaw thing of all these different planets, all one big planet. So I think that's a really cool.
I'm pretty sure that's how they're gonna pull everything together, because like you were telling me in the movie, we're pretty sure, at least theorizing wise, that the new Fantastic Four film that's coming out is also set in a different universe, which I believe that before the next Avengers film, there will be multiple incursions that
get everybody on the same battlefield.
Literally, yeah, it brings them all into the 616 universe.
Get all these
that's the only way that it kind of makes sense, unless the Fantastic Four become interdimensional or inter-universal travelers. It doesn't really make sense in any other way, other than these universes kind of like conform together.
Yeah, they gotta get all together sometime. At the very end, I guess we're jumping all around. At the very end, the villain Stern, Stearns, the brain dude,
Dr. Stern.
Dr.
I
Stern.
can't remember his name.
He has a really
Samuel Stearns, I think. I can't remember.
Evil green brain man. He has a really cryptic message towards Sam at the end, which I was like, how much time has passed? Because when he spoke to Harrison Ford's character, he had a cast, but when he spoke to Stern, he was fixed up. And I was like, okay. I was like, time has passed. But he was like, yeah, cryptic, you think this is the only world? I was like, well, I know it's not the only world.
Do you think you're the only ones?
Yeah, I was like...
there are other worlds.
You're making me feel uncomfortable. Make me feel kind of warm in here.
I personally believe that is a teaser to a kind of World War Hulk type deal, because if you watch She-Hulk Attorney at Law, the last there was a post-credit scene in the last episode. They introduced Scar.
Yeah, his son, Hulk's
son, Scar, and I was like, huh.
I was like, where have you been? What have you been doing?
Oh my god! So the World War Hulk definitely has to happen.
They've been hoeing.
I mean, we have our She-Hulk, we have Scar, we have Hulk,
we have a Red Hulk now.
We have Red Hulk now. I mean, all we're really missing is A-Bomb.
Is it the blue?
Yeah, the blue one, the one that can camouflage and things.
Hulk hasn't, not that he hasn't been cool, but Hulk hasn't been the Hulk since the middle of Ultron.
He bailed off to Sakaar. Age of Ultron happened. Hulk leaves into Quinjet, and he ends up on Sakaar. Couple more movies, Thor Ragnarok happens. He's fighting, or he's trying to find Loki, or whatever the hell. Or he's trying to find his dad. They find his dad dies. Hela gets released. Thor's hammer is destroyed. He gets sent to Sakaar, gets a haircut and whatnot, gets put into the gladiator ring, and it just so happens that their number one gladiator is Hulk. So that's how they reconnect.
I guess I didn't even remember that he was on Sakaar.
Like the ending of the movie where he's taking all the Asgardians and whatnot away from Asgard as he's causing Ragnarok.
Yes.
That's where Infinity War picks up. Because it's literally end of Ragnarok, all the Asgardians are leaving, and then Infinity War starts with Thanos invading that ship.
Clapping the Asgards, yes.
Literally clapping the Asgards. Bro, it makes no sense. Hulk gets stronger the madder he gets. He got his cheeks! He got his cheeks wiped!
Yeah, Thanos did some diabolical things.
Thanos pulled up maybe 1 or 2 Infinity Stones and clapped cheeks.
He hit him with like a 3-piece combo and then he was gone.
Exactly.
I was like, Hulk, what are you?
And then Thor, bless him, he goes, Heimdall, send him away. Not even like, hey, send my indestructible ass back to Earth so I can actually coherently explain what's going on. No. Send the alternate ego of Bruce Banner back to Earth.
He's a genius. He should have been able to properly
but
talk to them.
But you gotta think, he's been in the Hulk form for over 3 years at that point. And that's the longest he had gone in the MCU.
That's true. Yeah, but we haven't had. I hope that World War or Planet Hulk is a thing because he desperately needs more attention. Like it's a shame that he was relegated to a side character of a Thor movie, and that's crazy. That's crazy.
He was basically a side character of Endgame too.
A side character in every movie.
Dude, the most memorable scene with Hulk in that movie is this man handing tacos to Ant-Man.
That's diabolical. They ruined this man.
I swear to God. Like, I understand, Professor Hulk, we can just CGI him.
It's cool for a minute.
It's Mark Ruffalo, but on the Hulk body, blah, blah, blah. Eat shit. Eat shit. I need my rage-induced motherfucker. Because by all technicality, what they have given to us is the Hulk that as soon as Bruce Banner gets mad, he transforms back to his normal self with the Hulk's mind.
Which would be sad. Well, I don't want to see that.
Very sad.
There's I'll try to speed run it. There are two things. There are two Hulk stories. I'm not a big Hulk fan. There is a creator I like, Donny Cates. He wrote a book called Smastronaut, and basically they treat Hulk like an not alter ego, like DID type, like a different personality. And Bruce Banner, since he's a genius, he's like, he basically pilots the Hulk from his brain. He treats it like the Starship Enterprise. And he's like, Hulk, do this thing. And then Hulk does something on the outside. He's like, Hulk, do this thing. And it's really funny. But within his brain, he has the alter ego of Hulk trapped in a room. And the Hulk in the mind, are you
talking about comics?
Yes.
Yes, where he has to fight the giant Wolverine.
Yeah, it's just it just keeps ripping. And that's how powerful he exerts more power.
It's because he's put like a helmet or something on the Hulk's actual body that allows Bruce Banner to take control of the entirety of his nervous system and everything.
Yeah, and I was like, it's a really cool idea. It allows him to do some crazy stuff with it. But yeah, I see that and I was like, wow, that's a really cool idea to keep that way. It's not Professor Hulk, but you still have Bruce Banner as a character. You can still use him, but you're still getting to see Hulk do Hulk shit.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's the sweet spot.
I think they should have definitely played more on the deleted scene that they had for I think it was Infinity War.
I don't think I've seen the deleted scene.
The deleted scene is you remember when he was in the Hulkbuster armor?
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta come out!"
He's like,
no. The deleted scene is that that Hulk actually busts out of the Hulkbuster armor and fights Thanos again. They didn't give us that, and I'm like, that would have been a perfect setup. Like Hulk finally takes full control.
Yeah.
Helps beat up Thanos. They may still lose, and that causes him to go back to Sakaar or whatever world, like off planet. Causes him to go back off planet, continuing to be the Hulk.
He's like, I have control again?
And then it leads into World War Hulk and things.
I watched all of She-Hulk. I didn't mind it. But we have the weirdness of the ending of She-Hulk, because Daredevil pulls up. I was like, what are you doing here? And then Hulk and Scar show up. I was like, this is I was like, what are you guys doing here? And then it just ends. I'm like, okay.
Dude, the climactic fight scene from She-Hulk. Oh my god! I love the fourth wall breaks and everything, but Jesus Christ!
But also Deadpool does fourth wall breaks, and it handles itself very well.
So much better.
There's another Hulk story. It's the Immortal Hulk. It's like a horror thing, and it's another thing. They treat Hulk like DID, but
Is that like the Hulk that becomes the Maestro?
No, it's normal Hulk, and he has a bunch. It's someone's in the driver's seat. It's usually Bruce Banner, then it's usually Hulk, and then there are a few other little worse Hulks, and then
Like Grey Hulk and things like that.
Back in back in the back, there's a monster, and they're all just like, please, for the love of God, don't open that
door. don't bring him out.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like
isn't that the one that's usually portrayed as like the metallic skin, white hair kind of Hulk?
I can't remember. It's been a while. I'm not usually a Hulk, and I don't usually look for Hulk, but just those 2 times I've seen something I was like, that's kind of cool. And then I saw they like nuked the Hulk, and he looked like an abomination of something that started healing itself. And they're like, "We're in danger." And I was like, "Yeah, you are." I was like, "Why'd you fight the Hulk? Leave him alone."
I swear,
leave that guy alone.
That's all he wants.
Back to Captain America. Sam Wilson, this entire movie, I brought it up earlier. He's so cool. He's really cool in this movie.
Yes.
And every other depiction I've seen him in the MCU,
he's picked up the mantle how he should.
Yes, I was watching Ross speak to him, and I was like, they wouldn't talk to Steve that way. But I was like, wait a second. Yeah, they would. I was like, they definitely would have spoken to Steve that way, and he deals with it very well. I think in some instances he was dealing with it much better than Steve, because he tried every time he could to de-escalate the situation.
He tried to de-escalate it, keep everybody on the same side, but when it finally came down to it, he was like, you know what? I got to do it my way.
He was ready to box about it, and I was like, I respect this, because whenever he shows up in the Echo 1 with Scary Brain Dude,
Camp Echo 1.
Camp Echo 1. I think it's really cool. He does not threaten him first. He's like, hey, we don't have to do this. And I was like, that's really cool. I was like, you're first.
Are you talking about when Giancarlo's character came after him? When the leader of Serpent or whatever the hell it's called?
But no, like every villain that he comes across, each of them, he gave them an out first, and then they're like, I'm gonna escalate it. He was like, I guess I gotta beat you up now, and he beat them up. He beat them up really well every time.
Very true. No, one of my favorite scenes will forever and always be, oh, you're so weak without all of your tools and gadgets. Throws a knife into his chest and then drop kicks him. No, I'm just a little meaner.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, you have to be.
You don't have anything. You don't have no tech, no gadgets, no nothing.
You throw it all the
wall
every time.
Meaner.
Yeah, that was it's awesome. I was like, I didn't know you could move like that. He has presence the entire time. I was like, did you get big? Like, are you bulkier? Like, I don't understand.
It was definitely the suit that was adding to his bulk. That first suit where he was wearing the
white
homage, the homage to the Falcon and Winter Soldier suit.
It's a crispy suit.
It's crispy as hell. Based off what I've seen, the reason why he changes suits and things like that is, first of all, they couldn't continuously make the white and blue suit look how it looked, because when they first introduced that outfit, it was like every other superhero costume. Mm-hmm. Hard to get out of. You gotta let someone know, hey, I'm about to have to use the restroom.
It's that time again.
Type shit, and he was like, never again.
Yeah, just give me
I won't have the cowl. I won't have nothing. Give me zippers. Zippers down the front.
Zippers, goddammit.
Zippers down the front. I need to be able to get out and do my business.
Nothing wrong with zippers. Yeah, but I think the second suit also looks really, really cool on him.
It looks a lot like it was original caps. It was original cap colors. Kind of played a little bit more towards the Winter Soldier stealth suit.
Yeah, it looked like the Winter Soldier one, and I was like, wow,
exactly.
He looks so good at that.
And it was a much sleeker design. Like the first suit made him a lot bulkier, but when they put on that second suit, I was like, yeah, it's showing off his muscle.
Yeah,
muscle.
That's a big man.
Mm-hmm.
He was ready. I haven't even mentioned it. Joaquin, is that the
Joaquin Torres?
He's so funny. I loved him so much throughout that movie.
New Falcon.
Usually in MCU movies, there's the funny side character that tags along the entire time. It's an MCU thing, so usually it's something that I ignore. But he was a great tag along character. I was like, whenever he got injured and he was like off screen for a while, I was like, when are we going to see the Falcon? I was like, he's come back.
When do we get to see Joaquin? Like, where is he?
My man. And him badgering him the entire movie, be like, can you teach me the move? That's hilarious.
Can you teach me this aerial kick and whatnot? It took him getting shot out of the sky.
Yeah, then he goes right back to being annoying. I was like, you're funny. I was like, I like you. I liked that he got business done when business had to be done, And then he went back to being funny. I was like, good man.
Imagine you're in his situation. You're sitting there, you're helping Captain America, and you just got shot out of the sky by a missile. I'd feel just as bad as he did. Like, what?
He did. Captain America did tell him to not. And he was like, I can do it. And I was like, please don't hurt yourself. I was like, I like you. Don't do anything. And I was genuinely really torn up about the Marine guy that just gets killed. I was like,
he just gets got.
I was like, he's been one of the coolest guys in this entire movie.
The SEAL dude. He was the leader of SEAL. Oh my god, he was such a dope dude. He was such a cool side character.
Yes, Captain America's like, I have a guy, and I was like, that's a guy. I was like, that's.
They really just said,
yeah.
Literally, he went, I have it at a medium level right now, and it's disturbing your equilibrium. Now, if I turn this dial anymore, you're dead.
Got his ass. Yeah, I was like, no! That was probably the most I felt for losing a Marvel character in a little bit. Maybe since Tony. Like, it's been a little bit.
Since Tony. No, I ain't felt that much pain for a side character since Coulson in the original Avengers.
That's a good point. Fair statement. I can give you that. Oh, Coulson.
Oh my god.
That was a real one.
That was pain on a different level. I was young. I was maybe 10 years old when the original Avengers came out. And I knew Coulson from the original Thor movie and whatnot.
Crazy.
And so I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, Coulson's here. He's a part of this. He's a big Captain. Coulson! No!
Get up! He just wanted the sign.
I mean, he still got his lick back.
Yep.
He still got his lick back while dying, quote unquote dying, because there is that
the Shield,
Agents of Shield show. It makes sense.
Almost hit how cool he was. Almost convinced me to watch that because my mom watched all of Agents of Shield, and I was like, sure, watch it, and she was like, meh.
I wanted to watch it purely because of Danny Reyes.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
Why haven't we seen a Ghost Rider in the MCU?
There are rumors. There are rumors that they're either trying to get Nicolas Cage to come back and reprise his role, or they're gonna bring Keanu Reeves in as Ghost Rider.
That'd be fun too. I'm down for whatever.
Dude, it'd be super fun if Keanu Reeves came in as Ghost Rider. Because I mean, DC, James Gunn, and all of them have already confirmed that Keanu Reeves, he is allowed and is working on Constantine 2. He's working on a sequel series for Constantine. It's gonna be so gas. Like the first Constantine movie with him.
I need to watch it. It's on. I think it's on Max. I've not watched it.
It's so good.
It's crazy. From Shao the Hedgehog to Ghost Rider, same character. From John Wick to Shao the Hedgehog to Ghost Rider, same guy.
From Neo to John Wick to Shadow from Hedgehog to Ghost Rider.
From Neo to Constantine to Shadow the Hedgehog. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. If it went too far. I enjoyed the Black Widow character. At first, whenever they were showing her, I was like, in the meeting room, in the boardroom, I was like, why are they showing this woman so much? I was like, I've never seen this bitch before. Mm-hmm. And then she got active. I was like, whoa. And she stayed active. I was like, oh, okay.
That was one of my favorite things with watching it for the second time is I wasn't watching the movie all that much. I kept turning to my left, watching how you were reacting. I was like, how's he looking at it?
I enjoyed it. It was a really fun movie.
It was a fantastic movie. To this day, I will never take critiques opinion ever.
Which is fair.
Critique opinions. They said Multiverse of Madness, terrible movie. Fucking 3 out of 10 stars on Rotten Tomatoes. Blah blah blah. I watched it. It's a damn good movie. It's a damn good movie. Is it as good as everything else? No. If you're comparing it to literally everything, exactly. You're comparing it to the literal dawn of the MCU and what is community-wide known as the golden age of the MCU, which was nothing but everybody's sequels. Literally, it was Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Like, those were the big movies at the time. And it was nothing but fantastic sequels.
Sequel after sequel.
But then they want to look at all of these newer movies coming out that are literally not even almost, most of them are more than half a decade in the making. And they want to go, oh, it's not as good as this, that, and the third. And I'm like, eat shit. We hit a hard reset. We hit a hard reset with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was nothing but mid and ass. It was nothing but mid and ass movies. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I personally did not give that much of a fuck about Endgame. It was a mid-tier fucking continuation of a story.
It was definitely the
Like,
thing that you needed to
I'm not
wrap it
gonna
all
say
up.
that it's not a good movie. It's a fantastic movie. I watched it 6 times when it came out. But at the same time, having watched it that many times in theaters, seeing the big screen,
Got him. That's how I feel a little bit about No Way Home. I think it has some of the best Spider-Man scenes in there, and then there are certain parts where I'm like, okay, I get, like it was definitely a hey in the movie theaters, hey Andrew Garfield's there. I was like, hey, it's Andrew Garfield. It's like, hey, Tobey Maguire's there. I was like, hey, it's Tobey Maguire. But I think one of the best Spider-Man scene in my brain is whenever he finally realizes that Green Goblin is like the bad guy, and like this everything changes, like zooms. It doesn't actually do it. Yeah, and he's like, something's up, and I was like,
the aspect ratio and changes and everything.
It's like the dolly zoom or something like so. It's the Hitchcock thing. But yeah, then you see him walking around, and you're like, what's going on? And then you finally zero it in.
And then he fucking he webs his hand to the fucking window.
And then from that all the way to Aunt May dying, I was like, this is some of the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. And like, again, the rest of the movie, it's really cool. It's not a bad movie. None of it's bad. But yeah, I understand I understand where you're coming from. And I think it's weird that I've always put Endgame and Infinity War. I try not to ever, if I'm trying to compare Marvel movies, I never include those two because I was like, that's not fair on the rest of them.
Because it's a big collaboration of everything. It's kind of, it really is kind of unfair to compare anything to that. Because it was like Infinity War and Endgame were a combination of the entire universe.
It felt like
at
an
that
event.
point.
It felt like something that I was supposed to go like, cool, there's everything else, but then there's these two.
Exactly.
And I think Infinity War is definitely I guess I'll take you through it one of these days. I found it was like this versus this for different things, and it was the MCU every not saga, every phase of the MCU, and it put them randomly against each other to see which one's your favorite. But then there's one for the entirety of the MCU, and I gave mine Spider-Man Homecoming because that's just special to me. But it was Spider-Man Homecoming and Infinity War, and I was just like, I know Infinity War is the better movie, but for me, it's just Spider-Man gets to the edge. But it's like, every time I watch Infinity War, I was like, I have to be prepared because I don't want to watch Endgame afterwards. But I know after you watch Infinity War, you're just like, oh god.
Facts.
And then like you could watch the first like 10 minutes of Endgame because they deal with Thanos. Like you get the resolution, but you're like, what? That's not right. And then you get the rest of the movie. So, yeah, I definitely understand. But this is Deadpool going back. You're correct. Deadpool and Wolverine really was a hard reset. It's like, hey, we have a direction.
We
Get
know
on board.
what we're doing. You're chilling.
Yeah, we do. And I'm excited about it.
They know exactly what their plan is. They know how they want to schedule it. They know how they want to film it. And with all the writing strike and like film strikes and whatever the hell was going on maybe a year back now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So like with all of that finally ending, they can actually put in the work.
It's time to get back.
What a lot of people don't understand is that the writer strike and things like that went on for years. Well, I won't say years, but maybe about a year to a year and a half without any recognition.
Mm-hmm.
It was only when we weren't getting our shows, our movies, and things like that people started realizing that this is a lot bigger than we thought it was. Which is why last year, Deadpool and Wolverine was the only movie released in the MCU. 2024 for the MCU had one movie.
Yeah.
And that was Deadpool and Wolverine. I think you said this year they only have 3.
Yeah.
Which is this one, Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four, which I think Thunderbolts will also be another kind of mid-ground movie. Not because it's not a good story or anything like that, but just because it's more than likely going to be another world-building movie like this one.
I think it is going to be another world-building movie.
Like, sure, there's some big events going on, but they're not big enough to affect the entire universe.
I've seen stuff.
Like, I think it's just going to be world-building, flat out, and then we'll get the Fantastic Four movie. Probably that incursion I was telling you about, because I mean, think about it. We see a comic accurate sized Galactus.
The man was there. I was like, whoa.
So it's either gonna be an incursion level event, or like you were telling me in the theater, they're gonna figure out a way to leave that universe and come into the main universe.
Hey fam, what's up?
Like it'll be the first family coming from their universe into ours,
I guess
which is what brings them into modern day, because like the trailers and everything show, it's supposed to be like 1960s retro futuristic. Like
Tony Stark would never.
Tony Stark would never.
Yeah.
Howard Stark would.
He said, "This is the golden age, baby." Back to the Thunderbolts thing. I'm almost 100% sure that the Thunderbolts, the actual title is Thunderbolts with an asterisk, because I think it might have something to do with a Dark Avengers team, because I know there is a group called the Dark Avengers in Marvel. I'm very fascinated about the fact that we got Brave New World, where we have it for my brain of if Deadpool was the new direction. It's like, okay, cool, Brave New World. That's really in your face. Like, hey, new direction. There's a Brave New World, and next we're getting Thunderbolts. It's like, okay, a bunch of lower tier characters, like a bunch of villains that they didn't Marvel murder, because they Marvel murdered most of the villains in the MCU. So it's like, okay, they're a little team, and then you get first steps for Fantastic Four. So even in some of these themes, I'm feeling out of the three, two of them are new things. Brave New World, first steps is like, oh, we're getting our footing. We're getting back to what I'm very interested in, and hopefully, I hope it is incursions, because that'll be fun. Because then
they've brought it up so many times.
John Krasinski said incursions. Spaghetti.
Swear to God.
That one's for you, Adam.
And if they take out incursions in like completely, I might not be able to like handle the MCU.
That's fair.
Like, how are you going to bring it up in the shows and everything,
and then throw it away?
And then like all of this shit happens in the show, fucking WandaVision, and then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness happens. Like, eat
Make
shit.
it happen. It's about time. It needs to be
like
about time.
we need to see an incursion happen. Like we've been teased about an incursion, this, that, and the third. We've seen the result of an incursion from Dark Doctor Strange's universe.
Yep. And I think that's probably one of the cooler. I like the movie. It is a good movie. I really like the landscape of like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. And I was like, what? This place fucked up. I was like, they got it.
they big time.
I've been waiting for them to address the Celestial and Deadpool and Wolverine on one of the screens in the background. I think he talks about it. It was Thor holding Deadpool. I just need to know. I just need to see it. And that's all I want.
Dude, I was saying the same thing. If they don't bring that scene in,
I will be angry.
Somewhere in the MCU within this phase,
it's gotta happen in one of these Avengers movies.
Like, swear to God, like it has to happen. And if it doesn't, I will personally stop. Like, I will be a blank slate of information from now on, because I won't watch anything else.
I guess I'm just gonna go back to my reruns of Hey Arnold, I guess. Chloe and I have watched that recently. I've been watching SpongeBob for the first time.